So just like last year's car week, we saw a green YRBC. This time we see a blue one. Not a bad car. I believe we've seen this one before in Connecticut. A more base BC, if you can even say that, but no roof scoop and stuff, but still looks incredible in this blue with the carbon, and just kind of ditched here in this parking lot. So we're at Spanish Bay and there's a crazy spot right here. It's 6 cars.
Oh my goodness.
6 cars, not from the 6, but straight from Tokyo.
I don't do autograph. I'm sorry.
Don't do autograph? Fuck, I was gonna have you sign my forehead.
I want Roy's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your forehead or?
The guy on the other side of this camera is a legend, everybody. Okay? So if you're not already, hit that sub button.
Oof.
Okay? Endorsed by 6 cars.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
But yeah, Monday of car week. 1 Super Sport, 2 Super Sport, and a Super Sport 300 right there. Crazy cars, crazy lineup here at Spanish Bay. Absolutely wild. Zagato Aston Martin, a 4x4 G-Wagon. One of the first cars we see getting unloaded. Look at the spec on this GTO. White with like a bunch of little red accents. The red interior with the white walls behind it. This is a crazy spec. I don't think I've even seen pictures of this one before. But I mean, the customizations to make a spec like this happen are unbelievable. So here we have a red Ferrari Enzo. Okay, so really cool car on the roof is an Escalade V. On the other side, there's, no, I'm just kidding. There's a McLaren P1 right here in green next to a 993 Turbo. But this P1, I don't know. Like, the lifts are all up. It's in probably the worst position. I don't know what these HRE wheels are. No offense to this P1 owner, but you got to park the car a little bit nicer. If you had the lifts down, it would probably look a lot better. But, I mean, it is what it is. Still, McLaren P1 at the end of the day is a McLaren P1. Okay, so we're starting the tour right now. Keegan's going to talk through what these cars are.
Yeah, so all these cars came from Florida, and back in the early 2000s, they all got destroyed in the same barn in a hurricane. So the owner shipped them down to Indiana, and he's just preserved the cars. They haven't been cleaned. None of them run. They're all abandoned vehicles, and we are selling them as is without any restoration, nothing. So first off, one of the biggest ones, 1954 500 Mondial. It looks like nothing, but the reserve on this one is 1.2 to 1.6 million US.
1.2 to 1.6.
And you know, a restoration like this would take years and millions of dollars, but you know, after the restoration, it's worth even more. You're still making money on this car. It's just it's a big project, or you can leave it as is. I mean, what a cool garage piece. Then up front here we have my favorite. It's a Ferrari 275 60 alloy, which is the king of all Ferrari 275 coupes. The reserve on this one is 2 to 2.5 million as is. And one of the cool things they did about the setup here is kind of mimic what the barn looked like when they found the cars in Florida. And you can see windows open, interior is exposed. You have beams going across the back of a, you know, after restored, a potentially $6 to $7 million Ferrari.
This one is in way better shape than the one over here. This one still has paint on it. You can tell it's a very nice silver. But man, I don't know what happened here, but this car got fully destroyed. The tires on it, the wood on the top. What the hell happened here?
Wow, holy fuck.
Oh, Super Sports. 6x6 Raptor. But Super Sports. Just a few Rolls Royces in a parking lot. Nothing too special. Just a few more right here. No big deal. Lamborghini Centenario and a Supra, but random Centenario spot. We were actually just talking about this car the other day. So we got this LaFerrari right here. It's like a silverish gray, very metallic, such a nice color. FXXK wheels. Honestly, such a low-key good spec. Next to is a Porsangue. This is the first time I'm seeing it, the Ferrari SUV. These are probably going to be on the roads everywhere, just like Urus's are within about a year from now, even though they're a lot more expensive. But not a bad 2-car garage right here. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that have both. Probably every single person that has this is going to get this. The rear of the Centenario is so aggressive. Look at the diffuser. It kind of goes up from the bumper. But it's crazy to see that this Centenario actually gets driven. I mean, these are cars that just kind of sit in collections. So very nice to see that you continuously see it out. I don't know if it's the same owners before or not, but still very, very cool. The carbon wheels. And the blue paint is pretty much exactly the same blue paint as on this STO, which is kind of the launch spec one. And I think this is a bit of a later car because there's not too much exterior carbon. Later on, they couldn't do too much. It still has the decals. Now you can't really get the decals or the exterior carbon. But again, nothing compared to this Centenario right here. They sound so good in the LP640s with the like kind of bigger exhaust pipe, more aggressive bumpers, more aggressive size. They look so good. Oh, it's gated. So rare. So so freaking rare. First Lamborghini Miura of this year's Car Week, and it's an SV in the classic red on gold spec. Such a nice looking car. The gold wheels, the tan interior to kind of match the whole spec. This car looks absolutely mint. And then, of course, other than the two-tone, there is another way to tell between an SV and a regular one, which is it doesn't have like the lashes above and below the headlights. Such a great looking car. Honestly, might be the best looking car of all times, potentially. So we saw this drive by earlier. I said it's like a crazy spec. So the body is full exposed carbon. All the accents are carbon in red. Roof scoop, purple calipers, red interior, Senna seats. I mean, this is as good of a spec as you can probably get. I mean, this might be like the most expensive 765 or something in the world for a coupe. Now, not only is the 765 green with the gold and the tan, all the carbon bits in the bottom, everything is green carbon. So again, this is probably one of the most expensive 765 coupe specs in the world. This might be that for a Spider. Pretty cool to see them together. Looks so freaking good. P1 pulled over by cops. So we ate the Funyuns, and now we found the Zonda. But yeah, Zonda F in pearl white. I think it's actually a Ferrari color Bianco Fuji, if I'm not mistaken. But I just parked up here on this driveway. Looks so freaking good. Like, goddamn, nothing like a Zonda. Truly nothing like a Zonda. But yeah, here's the YRBC we saw yesterday as soon as we came in. We just parked up for a second here with the R34. We have our friend's McLaren 570S Spider, but let's quickly, before we kind of have to run because a few more cars are coming, I want to go look at that Tempesta Huayra full carbon. So yeah, full carbon Tempesta package car. Honestly, it's a very similar spec to one from Canada. Honestly, small chance this is the car. Yeah, Tempesta wheels, full carbon. This car came very, very early in the production line. Not bad at all. Jag XJR 15. We saw this car in May, I believe, when we did the E30 road trip to Connecticut. Got a tour of the full cultivated collector garage. He's actually got 2 of them in yellow, which is only, I believe, 3 in yellow out of the 28 cars that were made. The rest are blue. This thing sounds incredible. We were driving, I think, behind it for a while. Just was like unbelievable. It's great to see it here in Car Week. Great to see it being driven. Holy fuck, what the hell? What? Let's go. We thought we missed this. The spec is wild. The high-speed wheels, sky view, but man, this paint scheme is unbelievable. God damn. Lighting up the F50 a little bit, but not a bad street find for a Tuesday night. Kind of end of the day. I don't know if we'll see anything else. If we don't, this is it. If we do, then let's keep going.
DB?
Black LaFerrari Aperta with Zach Braille in the back. And a GT3RS. Black LaFerrari Aperta. I think we saw this last year at the Peterson. We found it. It's okay. We found it. LP 640 and a 40th anniversary. Lexus LFA Nürburgring here. Very rare car. These are like $1.5 million right now. Super random 959 just ditched here. 2 McLaren P1s.
Those are fun, man. You're right.
296, but then the real hybrid supercars. 2 McLaren P1s. And a 599 and a Cobra. 289. Another P1. That's the one we saw yesterday getting pulled over, got impounded, and I guess he got it back today. Monterey Blue Mercy Roadster. FF GT3. And 718 RS Spider, Gentian blue. And here it is, the yellow Porsche Sport Bugatti Chiron. The big boy Maybach 62, the long one. Look how long this thing is. The back doors are massive, so much legroom. You see the 57 sometimes still, but you never see the 62s anymore. That is, oh, there's two of them. There's 57 behind it. What the hell? Look how much longer the 62 is than the 57. But such baller cars. What? That is a solid lineup. What a good spec. Silver wheels, silver everything. You don't always have to go resell red. This is the way to do it for sure. So we are back at the Miller Motorcars house, and they have this crazy Apollo IE. I mean, like the fins on the sides, this crazy looking roof scoop, even the wheels, the bumpers, everything looks like a kid drew it. It's freaking crazy. Like, the design is unbelievably like out there. Gunther Works 911. It's a Roadster. Two Bugattis coming up, the red Porsche Sport, the yellow Porsche Sport, ketchup and mustard. That's so sick. Not legal in the US, but GR Yaris, I think it's from Mexico. Yeah, from Mexico. So sick. F12 TDF, just kind of ditched here on the street. Cars are trying to kind of be street parked everywhere. You got this 930 right here with the boxes on the roof. But the blue TDF looks amazing. Miura parked on the side of the road. What a good color with the two-tone with the silver. Such a nice car. Number on the plaque is 319 out of 350, but there isn't even 319 that were built. CC 850. That is sick. Random black 959. The Brunei shooting brake Aston Martin is out here now. We saw it a few days ago at the RM lot, but now it's out in the sun-ish. Kind of nice.
Oh, it's a London.
Landaulet right there. 6x6 right there.
Another one.
Another? Oh, what the fuck? Another one. How did I miss a 6x6? What the fuck? Jesus. So here we have the 50th anniversary Lamborghini Aventador LP720 owned by Lambo Jesus. Next to that is, I think, the Stradman's new Scuderia. And then the crazy $12,000 exhaust F-Spots S600 V12. Not a bad lineup. Gated LP640 Roadster, one of I think less than 10 in the US from what I believe. Crazy car. I don't know if I've ever seen a gated Roadster. You see the coupes pop up once in a while, but damn, this is rare. Miura RS world record car. Purple Carrera GT next to a Singer. CLK DTM Roadster, one of 80 made. These cars are nuts. You never see the Roadsters. Never see the coupes either, really, but damn, what a car. So the STO and Centenario we saw yesterday next to a very, very large lineup of Hennessy F5s. I mean, like over 10 of these cars, I think, here. But yeah, they look pretty crazy. I guess there's customer cars already. I don't think I've seen a customer drive them before, but that's pretty cool. And then on the other side, we have the gray Chiron Porsche Sport that was on the truck yesterday. And when we drive up one more spot, the Super Sports. F50 and then F40. GT500. Ferrari 250 Lusso. Okay, 918. Wyra BC. Senna. Carrera GT. Another Carrera GT. Another Wyra. A roof. 40th anniversary. CCX. Quad. F240. SLR. LFA. Venoms. And the Countach space car. Okay, 300 SLs, I think all roadsters. Another one and one more. Such a good looking car. Blue SE30. Remark. Ripcam Courage GT.
Like why? Why?
P1, another P1. So F1 GTR, we saw this car in 2019. It sounds insane. The long tail, such an expensive car. It's probably $30-40 million, who knows. But what a wild car. Crazy that they drove it on the rally today. Looks so freaking good. This has to be one of my favorite cars I've seen so far. Car Week, this blue SE30 Yoda. It's got the roof scoops, got the great wheels. I mean, such a rare car. I don't think I've ever seen pictures even of a blue one. It looks so freaking good. So back at Spanish Bay, there's a Koenigsegg Regera full carbon here and a Cobra, but the showstopper is right here. The Valkyrie. What a spot. Yeah, what a crazy car. The Aero. I mean, this car does not look like it could be road legal, but here it is, driving on the roads. Absolutely wild to just see it randomly here, unexpected. Nobody really knew it's here, and then now everybody's crowding around it. So this wasn't here before. The Chroma Flare GT2 RS. The craziest part, in my opinion, is this interior, the full white interior with the houndstooth. What a crazy car. Okay, so we randomly bumped into Shmi 150 here.
I mean, it's not that random. It's car week.
It's car week, so it was bound to happen at some point. But there's a few cars around here that we looked at. What's your favorite that's here today?
It's even less random when there are 4 Chiron Super Sports.
Yeah, you'd probably end up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's cool, isn't it? We've got a 300 plus. We've got the crazy paintwork on the red and orange car. I'm always a fan of blue, and I think the white on white looks amazing. And if you said you could have one and only one, I don't know where you begin to that. I think the big wow factor standing here right now is the fact that there are 4 in a row.
Yeah,
Have you made a choice?
I think I'd take the white one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Something about that white one.
I like Larry. I do like the red and orange.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I like how nobody knew about that car until
It showed up, yeah.
It was just here. It's
Yeah.
Like, boom, there we go. Like, I spent a lot of time reading and trying to learn about these things.
Yeah.
To see what's around the world. Checking out ECR, of course. And that was like, well, here it is. Go for it. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there's even a Senna Can-Am over there. That's
Yeah.
only 1 of 3, right?
It's 1 of 3, but for us, it's a Canadian version of the Senna LM, so we
so
kind of
you've
do
seen
see
it.
them.
You know about it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the first one I think I've ever seen, probably. Wow. Car week things.
Yeah, I can't choose a car. Oh, shit. That's Hank.
Whoa, cool, another one.
That is sick. I think this might be the first time I'm seeing a Zenvo up close. I'm not too sure. But very, very cool. 6x6s and a lawn delay. TDF. 250 Lusso. Senna Veyron Miura and a 918 Gambala Mirage GT and a 918 as well. 300 SL. 300 SL just street parked. Koenigsegg.
Watch behind you. Watch behind you.
McLaren Sabre. Miura Miura BC, Chiron Power Sports, Zonda F, Carrera GT, LFA 993, GT3 RS 4.0 997 might be the best car ever made, just as a whole. Just what the hell, so rare. These are nearing $1 million now, and you know the regular GT3 RS is already so good, but man, 4.0 is the ultimate version of the ultimate car from the ultimate brand. So pretty cool 90s and 80s style lineup in this parking lot. We have the 959, which used to be the fastest car in the world, obviously. But then here we have kind of the two equivalent cars to that from the two competing companies. So we have the Ferrari F40, you know, the one that beat the 959, got to I think 201 miles an hour. Next to that is what's known as Lamborghini's Ferrari F40. This is the Diablo SC30 in black, very low-key spec, but this was Lamborghini's hardcore track version of the Diablo that was made kind of to compete with the F40, and it's actually a lot more rare than an F40. Clarence Senna, launch spec. Now here's a very nice lineup of 3 limited edition Ferraris. Speciale Aperta, the last naturally aspirated mid-engine V8 Ferrari made. Very good in this yellow with the blue accents. I think we see this car week pretty much every year. But here's probably the rarest car in this parking lot. So from the front, because there's no contrasting accents, this just looks like a 599 GTB, especially because the wheels are pretty normal. But when we look a little closer, you can tell there's something off with the roof. This is not the regular GTB roof. That is because this car is an S Aperta. What that means is the GTO engine, but the roof is removable. One of Ferrari says 80 made, but I think the real number is closer to 120 to 150. But again, this might be my favorite car in the world. Open top V12 GTO, pretty much. S Aperta is such a sick car, and this one is in all yellow. Most of them are red with a silver top, or most of them have a contrasting top. This one is all yellow. I freaking love it. It's pretty low-key for an S Aperta. This is $1.5 million car all day long. And then again, the cars we saw yesterday, the Regera, full carbon with the blue accents, carbon wheels, carbon everything. And this I don't think was parked here yesterday, the Rimac. Yeah, these are like 1.90 to 60, crazy expensive. People are starting to buy them now. And then the Storado Huracan, which is kind of like the Car 911, but off-roady, raised up. Off-road tires come from factory, kind of like a rally car Huracan that you can buy from Lamborghini. And then right there is what's probably the fastest car you can just buy to drive around, the quickest. The Valkyrie Aston Martin. This thing does not look like a road legal car. It doesn't even look like a real car. It looks like it's straight out of a video game, one of those like Vision GT Gran Turismo things, but this is a real car that you can buy. Someone did buy, and someone is driving right here at Spanish Bay. The flake in the paint is absolutely crazy. Green with like a bit of a tint of blue, but so nice. And the cabin is so much narrower than the car itself. I mean, there's so much more room here and here that the cabin just narrows down. Koenigsegg HH. So here we have the Aventador Ultimate Roadster, one of 250, the final variation of the Lamborghini Aventador. Might be my favorite. A lot cleaner in my opinion than an SVJ. Next to that is this full carbon body Pagani Huayra Roadster with the blue carbon accents. This car's pretty much here every year in the parking lot, but probably so far my favorite I'm seeing in this parking lot is this Koenigsegg, the older one. I think it's manual, full carbon body. I love these things. Okay, 2 seconds before we go in, I see a bunch of crazy stuff right there, so let's quickly go take a look at that. So a ton of colors here because a ton of supercars, but we got the Exeges, all that. Kind of interesting, but before we run in, of course, the Chiron Power Sport, the orange one, the Canadian one, even though it's on Florida plates. Very cool right here. And then 2 more cars worth a mention here are this green P1 and the matte blue Veyron 16.4. Very, very nice on HREs. Not a bad lineup. So the Mirage GT Gambala, one of I think 25 cars ever made. Next to that is this 918. We saw this either this year or last year at Cavallino Weekend in Palm Beach. It was blue back then with the roof scoop kind of matching the Carrera GT. And we have one Koenigsegg in full exposed carbon and another one right next to it, Agera RS's. Awesome lineup right here at the front. Then the CLK DTM convertible that we saw a few days ago. SLR 722, one of 150 ever made. Here we have this awesome looking orange Carrera GT. I think this specific one might have been up for auction in 2019 or 2021 here in Monterey Car Week. Then a Singer, the Miura BC, and next to that are a black 918 Spider with the YSAC package, and this awesome looking silver LaFerrari with the FXXK wheels, black roof, very clean spec, and then the orange Elefate, the only one in the world with fog lights. Very good lineup here outside of Quail. So welcome to one of the most important booths of every year's Quail. Here is the Koenigsegg booth. We have the new Miura that now has changed its power plant from a 3-cylinder to a V8, and I think it went from like 1750 horsepower to 2300 horsepower out of a 4-seater hypercar. Absolutely wild. So here's the new Bugatti Chiron Super Sport. This is one that they just released for Quail. So this just came out today. This is the first day we get to see it. It's this gold color that kind of phases into the black with carbon fiber that honestly has a bit of a gold flake to it. Obviously the Super Sport is a little bit longer. So if you guys watch the rest of the Car Week vlogs, we actually saw this car driving on 17 Mile about 2 days ago, I think. This is the Mystral, one of 99 roadster versions, kind of based off the Devo platform. But you know, this is the last potentially fully gas powered Bugatti. This is going to be a very, very important car. They're all already sold out. What a cool looking car. It looks completely different than the Chiron. Paint the sample dog to the Mistral, almost the same color. Okay, so we're at the Pagani booth now. We have the original, the Zonda S, the first one I think with the 7-liter, I believe. But yeah, what a cool looking car. You never see these early Zondas around. Everybody's 760ing them. So honestly, I like seeing a clean Zonda better than I like seeing a 760. So here's the successor to the Miura, and something that definitely did not disappoint. This is the Pagani Utopia. It still has the signature 4 exhaust pipes in the back, but cool thing about this is it's still got a V12. Not only does it still have a V12, but you can get this as a manual, whereas the Miura did not have it. We had about a 10-year hiatus of the manual from the new Pagani models. Now it is back, and you can just get a brand new hypercar with a manual transmission and a V12 mid-engine. On the side of the booth, we have a pair of the track-only cars. I've never seen this specific one before. Green carbon Miura are. The green carbon looks so freaking good with the green, with the gold wheels, the Italian flag accents, gold and red right here. Roof scoop looks incredible. These R's look so aggressive. And this is just a track only car. You cannot drive it on the road. And of course it's the YR, but it all started right here with the Zonda R. We've seen these in the videos a ton before. Same thing, just scoops, aero, giant wings, all carbon fiber, not road legal at all. They sound insane. Last year, if you remember the vlogs, we saw these two with a white wire R driving on the track at Laguna Seca, and they sounded insane. The new electric Lambo driving just came out today. MC12 Corsa. What? Is the top off? Dude, the top's off. I didn't know the Corsa has a removable roof.
Neither did I, actually.
What? MC12 Corsa on the road. What the hell? That is freaking wild. MC12 Corsa, just like no big deal. And our friends. $599 GTO. Oh, one of my favorite cars this car week. Purple Diablo SC30. Oh, that is so good. That is so freaking good. So Car Week is really ramping up. You can just see cars literally everywhere. And in those cars, it's not just your regular sports cars, just some hypercars driving around. Crazy rare stuff, classics. So we're just gonna walk around Ocean Avenue for a little bit, which is kind of the main area of Monterey Car Week. See what drives by. There's gonna be some crazy stuff, people doing crazy stuff. Ton of people here, ton of cars. You can barely even find parking. So the craziness starts 765 LT Spider, but look at that. P1 in red, just parked up. You don't even notice. Crazy lineup right here. We got our buddy from Toronto in his Chiron. 6x6. Another 6x6. Lando A. Another 4x4 over there. What a crazy lineup. Red Aventador SV. Random Veyron in traffic. I think I have a thing with this Subway and Bugattis because last year we're eating at this Subway, Stradman's Bugatti drives through. 2 years ago we're eating at the Subway, a Chiron drives through. Right now we're about to walk into the Subway and the Matte Blue Veyron drives through. Just casually being loaded onto the flatbed, the Ferrari F50, one 349 ever made. I don't know if we saw this one this trip yet or not. Not sure which. Ooh, I know this is an ex-McLaren F1 owner's car. Very, very nice. So we were just debating on whether or not to film like the 959, the GTRs, and the F40 because we've seen them before. But then I saw out of the corner of my eye something very, very, very interesting right here. So like an hour ago, we saw Ferrari F50 outside, but this is no ordinary Ferrari F50. This is one of 4 black Ferrari F50s ever made. We only really see it at Car Week. The owner actually drives the hell out of it when it's here. Saw it last year, and I'm so happy to see it again. The black Ferrari F50, one of 4. Such a sick car. So right after the black Ferrari F50, the one of 4, there's a random Matte Blue. We saw this today in the Quail parking lot, but the Matte Blue 16.4 Veyron. This one has the HRE wheels, which kind of makes me think this Matte Blue is probably a wrap. But regardless, pretty clean 16.4. It's got the cream seats with the two-tone dark blue. Very nice early car with early headlights, probably a 2008. Still aging amazing and properly parked in race mode, wing up, car lowered. LaFerrari, which one is it? I think it's the silver one.
Oh, probably. Oh, P1.
Oh, P1, LaFerrari, P1. What? Huh. Welcome to Car Week. We spun a LaFerrari and you see a P1. It's Saturday morning and today's probably the day where most cars are driving around. It's usually like the craziest day for just driving around, not too many events. Behind us is the first spot of the day, Lamborghini Countach 5000S. Yeah, let's take a little look around everything. But yeah, we saw this white roadster in the last video at Quail parking lot. Carbon with the blue carbon roadster, very nice. But straight from the UK, Alex Penfold's GT4. I shipped my GT4 from Toronto, but that's nothing compared to shipping from the UK right-hand drive GT4 with 92,000 miles. Then we have the one of 250, the final edition of the Aventador, the Ultimate Roadster. Then 2 of 2007's pretty much best, the SLR and the Murcielago LP 640. Koenigsegg CCXR, probably my favorite one. They're so cool. They're so much more raw than the new ones. The interior is so sick with this gigantic manual shifter. Looks freaking crazy. Then the Agera HH, which used to be blue. So the CC850, the first ever manual and automatic supercar. Crazy, it's the same one we saw last year. This car's fully drivable, and it kind of was as soon as it came out, which is pretty impressive. Then we saw the Yesco yesterday at Quail. Very nice in this blue. This is the attack version with the big wing. Then this full carbon Agera RS with, you know, so many extra details, but literally everything is carbon. The wheels, the roof, the mirrors, everything. But look at this extra aero that this one has. Looks insane. We saw this one as well yesterday at the Quail parking lot. What a cool looking car. Then behind that is the world record Agera RS, the one that did the 277 miles an hour run. Very cool to see it here. Another white Regera with the blue accents, all blue carbon, of course. Very nice. Regera right here. 40th anniversary Murcielago. So nice. One of 50 ever made. Probably the wildest looking car here is the Valkyrie, of course, but we've seen this almost every day this week. Then the 177 right behind it. And another Agera RS behind that. Very cool. This one's all carbon fiber with these gold accents all around. Behind that is another Agera RS. So cool. So many carbon body cars, which honestly, in my opinion, makes the colored cars look a little bit cooler and more rare. Then another one right here, again, all carbon. And this car you guys might remember because probably about 2 years ago, I think we filmed it. We went to Ottawa to inspect this car for the current buyer. What a cool car, originally a Canadian car, and now we're seeing it again. Good spec, dark red. We actually rode in this car probably about a year and a half ago as well. We are now at the DK engineering house where, as you can see behind me, there's a fair amount of cars. So let's go take a look at what's here, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Last year it was 6 Ferrari F50s here. This year is a lot more variety. So 918 Spider in liquid silver, and across from that is actually a Canadian car, the Singer DLS. So I'm actually surprised we've never seen this in Canada, but here it is in Monterey, along with this Alfa Romeo right here. Then SF90 Spider, and a few more cars rolling in right now. So we have a white and blue McLaren Senna. We saw this a few times this trip already. Across from that is a Ferrari 275. Very nice right here. A few more cars behind it, but let's take a look at this US spec Ferrari F40 that just pulled in. Then on the other side is a Ferrari F50 right here with another one parking right now as we speak. Not bad. Here is a silver LaFerrari I've been seeing driving around all week pretty much. Then there's this roof 997. I think it's an RGT, but I'm not too sure. Let's see. Yeah, the silver LaFerrari right here. And behind it is the Zonda F and the LaFerrari Aperta that we saw a few days ago on 17 Mile Drive. Then next to the GTO is a car that I really wanted to see. It's the new A12 Comp Aperta. So cool in this like military color shift green, tan interior. What a good spec. But yeah, I just really wanted to see this open top A12 Comp. I think they look sick. The interior on this one is incredible. So here there's a few new cars. LaFerrari Aperta next to a regular LaFerrari, which is I think the last LaFerrari made. And then this Enzo right here. So the white on white Countach, the white interior, kind of like an old school, those 25th anniversaries, those 5000 S's that were just all white. This one is exactly the same. Then the LFA Nürburgring edition, the Sabre and the Senna. And on the other side is the MC12 Corsa that we saw yesterday with the top off. Absolutely crazy. They're just driving it around. So we just ran back to this Ferrari lot because the two SF90 XXs just got unloaded here, the Coupe and the Spider. Very cool color combinations. I don't think I've even looked at the pictures of these yet. I haven't really had time since they came out, but man, these are pretty crazy and pretty aggressive. So lady driven Ferrari F50, that's badass. And then this 599 S Aperta, goddamn. Okay, so first we got the Coupe, and then we have the Spider with the top down. Scuderia 16M S Aperta. Cool. Another S Aperta. And the GTO. A12 Comp Aperta. A12 Comp Coupe. So 675 LT right here with a GT3 right next to it, but this is not a 675 LT. This is 688 HS, one of only 25 made. Very nice. So just when you think Car Week is already pretty good, pretty much the best car that could have possibly showed up has arrived. That is a 1 of 6, or realistically a 1 of 3 that's not, you know, make a 1 of 2 that's not in a private collection that will never be sold. McLaren F1 LM, the 1 of 2 that would ever really be seen out in the wild. What a crazy car. Only 6 made. 3 of them are to the Sultan of Brunei. 1 of them is owned by McLaren, 1 by Ralph Lauren, and then this is the last one, and it's here. So crazy. So I guess all the Pagani showed up. We have a Huayra BC. Huayra, this is what used to be the press car. It's a regular Huayra with like all the wings and stuff added to it. Wire BC Roadster, Wire Roadster, this orange Wire Roadster, the yellow Wire Roadster. A lot of these cars we're actually going to see next weekend. So if you're not subscribed, stay subscribed because we're going to see a bigger Pagani lineup than this next weekend. But yeah, the Roadster, the Coupe, these two we're guaranteed going to see next weekend. This matte black Roadster looks so good with the white interior. This one as well, the Roadster BC with the roof scoop and everything. This one is the one we saw at Quail. Black F50. So here we have some Mura's V12, S680 Maybach, GT500, and Schmee's Zenvo. Now, we're going to go do a video with him in a few minutes on this car. I'm going to put that as a separate video, not a part of this vlog, because it's going to get way too long. But we're going to go do some stuff with him. But for now, here's this car. Amazing in this purple with these green little accents. The roof scoop's really cool. I honestly don't know much about this car, so I'll have him kind of tell us about it.
Drove past Spanish Bay.
Yeah, like...
Nobody here. We pulled in, and everyone pulls in behind. You have to think about that, because if I stopped on the main road and there's nowhere for people to stop, all of a sudden it's carnage.
Yeah, it's a traffic jam.
Create a roadblock, not intentional.
Countach. So definitely the coolest car of all car week is right here in front of us. This is the McLaren F1 LM. Only 6 of them ever made, but out of those 6, in shows like this, maybe out in the public even, only 2 of them might get seen, because 3 of them went to the Sultan of Brunei, then 1 of them is at the factory, 1 of them is owned by Ralph Lauren, and then this one is the 6th one. So speaking of the F1 LM that's just over there, here's a regular production McLaren F1, one of 64 road cars. This one was actually sold here 2 years ago with 300 miles, I believe, on, or 300 kilometers. Pretty much a brand new car, original tires, original everything. Sold for just under $20 million. So if this one out of 64 is $20 million, I'd say that one right there, 40, 50, who knows? But realistically, we might never see an F1 LM get sold. So might never know, but man, these cars are so special. You know, it's a big deal every time you see any McLaren F1, regardless if it's a GTR or a road car, an LM. You just never see them. They're all in private collections. They're all so good. They, you know, 240 miles an hour in the 1990s out of a naturally aspirated car. The mid driver location, the center seat, 2 seats beside you, so it's a 3-seater. This car is so good, and honestly, I feel like if you're not a car enthusiast, you see this on the road, you might think it's something cool, but you won't understand how cool it really is. So one more time talking about the McLaren F1, this is the F1 GTR Longtail. We saw it driving around on the Pebble Rally. We saw it 4 years ago. We saw it parked up, so we've seen this car quite a bit, but what a rare car, what a crazy car, way more aggressive than the road car. Obviously, this one is a track only, not road legal, but man, they're so crazy with the longer tail on this one. And then literally you can kind of see the F1 LM still there and the regular one after that. So having 3 McLaren F1s in one place is definitely a special. Let's see if this is the last little bit. We're just trying to go home, but Bugatti Chiron right here with an Aston Martin DB11 and the CLK DTM right over there.